Good morning, everyone. It's really exciting to have all of you here, and we do appreciate the fact that you took time from your busy day to be with us. I am Lynn Child, and I am the chair of the Technology Infrastructure Committee at the Findlay-Hancock County Alliance. For those of you that are not from Findlay or Hancock County, and I know some of you aren't, that is an umbrella organization that represents our chamber, our Economic Development Group, and our Convention and Visitors Bureau. The reason I'm sharing and standing here today is because, as you heard from our other speakers, we have been involved with trying to help the Findlay-Hancock area and the region understand how important the use of various technologies have been over the years. Our original name, to give you just a little history, we used to be called, back in 1999 when we first came together, the Infrastructure Telecommunications Committee. Fortunately, we were so successful in helping drive the need for the infrastructure needed to deliver higher bandwidth capability, from the dial-up systems all the way up then to DSL, to T1s, and now on to fiber, that we realized we no longer could call ourselves the Telecommunications Committee. So fortunately, we just changed it to technology. And as you can see from the presentation and what Helen just shared, this group has also been putting together a business survey over, I believe it was 9 years? Okay. With a little bit of background, I wanted to share with you our history so that you could understand what I'm going to share with you right now in this report. What has resulted, back 2 years ago, there were federal stimulus dollars available through the federal government. A local company in Benton Ridge Telephone Company, applied for a very large grant from those dollars so that they could extend the use of telecommunication into some of the rural areas. Now, all of us in this room may come from larger cities, some from the larger cities in like Cleveland, Columbus, Dayton. They had infrastructure much earlier on than even Findlay, Ohio had. That's part of the reason our group came together, was to make sure that Findlay-Hancock County wasn't left behind. But in the process of doing that, we were able to help our immediate community, but we didn't have as much reach to help the counties and the surrounding area. So, when Benton Ridge Telephone came to us, there was a second round of funding available. They came to us and said, look, we're not going to apply for these dollars, but is there anything the TIC would like to apply for? Is there anything or any way we could use those dollars? And you had to be sponsored by someone that had already received first round stimulus dollars. Fortunately, we stepped up, as the TIC members have since 1999. They've been just a phenomenal team to work with. They stepped up and said, my goodness, we can do this. We only had less than 3 weeks to pull it off and to put together a federal grant. So anybody having ever done that, to have this pulled off in 3 weeks, was truly quite a miracle from the heavens. But let me share very briefly, and it goes back to what Helen just shared with you. The reason we were able to do that is because we had, at that point in time, 7 years of business survey information. We were immediately being able to pull all that data together. We shipped it down to the firm, they are now called Ice Miller, in Columbus. They actually wrote the grant for us with input from our TIC people. They submitted it, and we were funded $175,000. And the result of that is now in my hand, and I'm sharing that with you today. You are the first folks, besides the TIC and a few of our commissioner and our mayor, those sorts of folks have seen this. But you're the first folks that have actually seen a copy of this in the public. And I wanted to announce it today, and it will be on the Alliance website and available to you after today's session. The reason I wanted to share it with you is because it shows the importance of what has occurred with the TIC and the fact that we continue to do surveys. We want to monitor what's going on in our region. What do our businesses need? It also shows you that it has a practical use. So when our businesses and our community responds to our survey, they made a difference. The students here at the University of Findlay made a difference. You folks over time have helped us analyze this so the information would be available. This was truly a community event, everybody coming together to make this happen. Now, you might look at me and say, okay, well, what is this? And what are these things that you're seeing behind me? Well, what this is it's a study that allowed Benton Ridge Telephone to look at the entire Findlay-Hancock County region and say, where are the locations within the county and a little bit surrounding as well, as you can see, because these points are outside of the county, where should or where would the most likely places be for further reach for telecommunications services. Now, basically what ends up happening in this study, it shows us that a lot of the need right now is in the western part of our county. That would be from CSX, which is up in Wood County, all the way down to Route 30, which is in the southern part of the county. Intuitively, we probably were aware of that, but it was nice to have that verified. And in the process of doing that, they not only talked to the small communities on the western side of the county, they also have information in this study from the entire county, including all the smaller cities throughout the county, even in the eastern part. The unfortunate part is that there is not as much need in the eastern part of the county. They weren't left out. That's something we want to continue to work on, and the TIC will, because we do know that there are folks and there is a great need on the western part of our county right now. So as we go forward from an economic development standpoint, we see that the private sector, working with the public sector, will probably be concentrating somewhat on the western side of our county because of that CSX to Benton Ridge to Route 30 section. So I just wanted to let you know that this is the study. We're very, very proud of this. These are the points the data points of the locations where Benton Ridge has towers. These towers are wireless. They also have them connected most often with fiber. So as we move forward, what we've done through the TIC, through our business survey, through receiving the $175,000 grant, through all the efforts of the students over the years that have helped us, through these forums, we have been able to proactively affect what has occurred in Findlay-Hancock County and our region. And so that you are aware, we have the study from that $175,000. We also have the footprint, which you can see behind me, where the towers are located and where they think they can continue to work in adding more and more connectivity and fiber and wireless. We also have the engineering specifications somewhat available because of this grant. We don't have access to those. Benton Ridge Telephone does, but they are there when and if we can continue to move forward, work on future grants, and kind of see where the economy is going vis-a-vis telecommunications. So I wanted to share that with you today because this was a true community effort. Thanks to Benton Ridge Telephone coming to us, thanks to the TIC and the Alliance, thanks to all the students here, to Professor Schneider, Lauren Wagner. They have run this forum for us all these 11 years. We now have a concrete study of how we can affect the region from an economic development standpoint. Now, let me take this back to each and every one of your level, and I know we have quite a few University of Findlay students here. This affects you because I know you sit here and you wonder, well, why does it matter to me? It matters to you because you ultimately don't know where you're going to be working. Maybe you'll find this most wonderful job in one of these small communities, or maybe you're actually from one of these small communities, or maybe you're from another part of the state or another state, and you can take some of this information back and share it and help your communities as well. So our role as the TIC has always been to be a facilitator, to help pull people together, to create opportunities, and then to share and educate. So I just wanted to say thank you to all of the students at the University of Findlay who have helped us, to the members of the TIC, because there's many of them in this room, to our community, because I know they've been a big part of our ability to do this, and of course to Benton Ridge Telephone. The TIC would have continued to do its work. We're going to continue to figure out, okay, the western side of the county, now we have to figure out what is needed. How can we work with the private sector? How can we maybe write additional federal and state grants to help? Then we also want to continue to look on the eastern side of our county. We want to continue to help our region grow and prosper. And I know each and every one of you now understand what's going on, and maybe the companies you end up in would be part of our crusade going forward to make sure that everyone eventually has broadband, as much connectivity as possible, because it's going to affect our emphasis, primarily business, but also each and every one of us in our homes. So again, this is the footprint we're looking at right now. It goes outside of the boundaries of Hancock County, but we are making great strides in making sure that folks have access to broadband capacity within our city and our county and beyond. One quick note, the study really focused on the county. The city, of course, of Findlay is involved because it is kind of the epicenter for things that are happening. But the city has fairly good connectivity. We really did need to concentrate on the county, but we have support from our folks in the city and county to continue our efforts through the TIC and the private sector. So again, many thanks to all of you. I'm going to stop right now because I know we have another presentation and I think we have a quick break, but I would welcome any kind of comments, questions. Welcome the TIC members that are here. I didn't see anybody from Benton Ridge if they wanted to make some remarks, but I would like to open it up for questions or any additional comments that any TIC members have. There's so much to share with you. I couldn't possibly fit it all in. And of course, for those that know me, I could keep you here for 3 or 4 hours talking about all the great things that are happening. But I will be calm and not do that and open it up for questions. Please.
When will this information be updated to see what progress has been made?
What we'll do through the TIC is we'll continue to work with not only Benton Ridge, but the other telecommunication vendors, and we're going to constantly be watching that. That's one of the things we've done over the years. A brief piece of history. When we started back in 1999, it was just dial-up, as I said. We really worked locally with the telecommunications vendors, with truly politicians from the state and federal government, to continue to concentrate on bringing these services to a small rural community of 40,000 and a county of about 70,000 at the time. We were going to be left out. We were going to be left out because the big cities, Cleveland, Columbus, Cincinnati, Dayton, even Lima, they were getting services that we weren't. With that said, your question, we are going to continue to do exactly what we did then. As we've seen the technology change and the pipelines get bigger, and now we're to the point where we have fiber, we're going to continue to monitor that as the TIC because it's a major part of economic development. It's a major part of quality of life if you think about it from a consumer standpoint. When you're home, you want fast connectivity. So you can do, honestly, I don't do this, but I know a lot of folks love to watch movies on their devices, their smartphones and their iPads. They like to do fantasy football. They like to do lots of consumer type things as well, the social media. So you want it for your personal life as well as your professional life. Does that answer your question? So, and we will, next year's forum, I usually give a 15-20 minute update as to our progress. I will also give an update at that point in time as well. And as it was mentioned earlier, all the presentations today, including the information that I'm sharing, this will be available in a PDF. This link will be available in a PDF so that you can go back and look at it if you'd like. And there'll also be contact information in case anyone has questions in the future that you want to address to me or to Lauren Wagner or to Dr. Schneider or any of the TIC members that are here. Other questions? Bill?
Ask a bit of clarification.
Wait. Bill? Bill?
Just the wireless.
Hold on.
Oh, I'm sorry.
okay.
This is just a wireless layout map or a footprint. We also know where all the fiber's going in the Northwest Ohio. We have all
Most of
sorts. Yeah, well,
Most of it.
we have lots of different information that we know about, and we constantly look at this and evaluate this to see how we can benefit from it and bring higher speed connectivity into the Findlay, Hancock County area.
Thank you, Bill. And also, I should let you know, our influence has gone beyond just Hancock County. We have been approached by other counties in the region for our copy of our business survey, and they've modeled it and used it in their communities. And they've also, of course, have information about our forum and that sort of thing. So, making it a little crackly here, I'm sorry. So I just wanted to let you know our influence is broader because we keep having folks ask us, how are we doing what we're doing and how could we be so successful? I know I've spoken to many different chambers and economic development folks about this very topic that we're discussing today. So, any other questions? Happy to answer them for you. It's been an exciting ride, and I've been very honored and I feel blessed to have been the chair of this committee because it's exciting. If nothing else, all of you that are involved in technology, or truthfully all of you because you're using technology, anything having to do with technology is constantly changing. So you gotta stay ahead of where it's going, and that's what we try to do with the TIC. And of course, we're always welcoming new people. If anybody would like to join or be on the email distribution list just to receive our agendas every month, because we meet monthly the last Friday of the month at the Alliance, you would be more than welcome to join us as well. And again, all the information will be on the website after today's conference or our forum. Other questions? I thought I saw a hand. Ray, did you have your hand up? Okay. Any other questions? TIC members, anybody else want to make a comment? Bill's comment was a very good comment. All right, we'll be here, I'll be here. Folks will be here to answer any particular questions you might have. I believe we have a 10-minute break until 10:30, and then we pick up again. Is that correct, Helen? All right, and again, I so appreciate the fact that all of you are here, and look forward to sharing so much more. It's going to be a very exciting day. One last thing, before you get up, be thinking about the theme for next year. Helen was right. We're already starting to think, where is it going? We always try to do the forum based on where it's going, not where it is today. So if you've got any suggestions for us, we welcome those too. All right, enjoy your break.